Well, it's time for day two here at Deep South. Cars outside. Wasn't real muddy last night, so we can probably just wash the car with a bucket. Got to pull the rear tires off, change the air box, clean the injection while we're there, wipe the car down, and just look at some notes of what we did last night and see what we can do to be a little bit better. Seems like, some of the cars that were doing really good were tighter in the center than we were. They were able to get in, so it's like they had more stagger to rotate it, but keep it straighter. But then Dale Howard, he runs a ton more stagger than all of us, and man, I don't know, they got something figured out with that Mach 1. They got a lot of drive in that thing while keeping it very maneuverable. They keep it where they can drive all over. So I don't know. We're not slow. The first start was actually pretty good, and what I thought I could feel up there, I was like, man, these guys are all going to get hustling for the bottom and hopefully slow each other down. I was hoping I could ring the top and then get down there, but it was just too dirty. I think the moisture was up there, but it would have took like 10 cars to clean it off. Like, the moisture was past the fluff, so we couldn't really do anything. I was like, you know what, let's go for it the first. And then I fired off on the second restart, and I just was in a dirty part of the track. Completely screwed it. It stumbled a little bit like it did the first start, and then it just hazed the tires, and we were in 6th place before we got to 1. And then by the time we came out of 2, I was in like 7th, and I hit the top, and I had momentum. And I just, I chased it all the way around, but it was just too far around for what the late models had cleaned off on the bottom. And then a little over halfway through the race, you could start feeling the tires chatter, which means it's starting to take rubber. So it just got too clean, and when you run the bottom of the track too much, and it's just like a perfectly clean, and there's no sand there, as soon as you miss it, you're running through sand. So the dirt might not be as bad, but the top layer is like having dust all over your floor and you got socks on. So you run off in there and you just slip, and you just can't do anything with it. So I think we finished 10th. I think I got up to 9th or 8th, and then on the last restart, our brakes must have been boiling. It was hot, and I pretty much, the last 7 laps, I had to drag the brake the entire lap just to keep pressure build up in them, because if I got off the brake when I went to step on them, there was no brakes. There wasn't brake for a long time in the pedal, or I had to pump it. So under yellow, I paced around for 2 laps, and I went to hit the brakes just to test them. That's just what you do when you're in these situations. You're just testing your stuff. You're bumping the throttle. You're hitting the brakes. You're turning the car, making sure you're not, tire doesn't feel low after running a lot of green flag laps. And I hit the brakes and kicked the firewall, and I was like, all right. And so then I pumped them, and they came right back, and the car slowed down. So it was just, they were just hot. And after the 8 laps, they were even hotter. Butt was nice and warm. But I don't know, man. You'll have that. There's some really good cars here, and I tried to do something to, do better, and I did worse. So you'll have that in these big jobs. So Adam will be here in a little bit. We're going to do our maintenance. We're going to prep for some lunch, because we just didn't really bring much for breakfast. By the time we usually get rolling, it's about 11, and I'd rather have a hamburger or a hot dog than donuts. And I'm not going to cook eggs and all that crap on the stuff that we have here to cook on. So going to cook us some hamburgers, and mac salad and coleslaw and all that stuff for here in a little bit. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to start prepping on this thing, getting these tires stripped down so we can buy some and figure out what we're going to do. Think about it a little bit. Talk with Russ, talk with Chris. I don't know. I don't feel like we're far off. We're just missing something little. We'll see what we got. Well, we had weather hit the area. We had to load everything up. Looks like these guys are moving because of mud. But we just got the merch trailer set back up, and fireworks are going off. We're getting the car ready. We're checking the fuel to see what we got to do there. Adam, can you please grab the other right rear? We're putting that on the car. We're going to move it out a ½ inch. And that's going to give us a little bit more stagger. Should be fast out there like it was last time we were here. And they're letting this fireworks show go off behind me. Here, America. There we go. I'll be able to use one of these for the pictures. I had to stay still long enough so I could use one of those as a screen grab. But we're getting all this stuff set up, getting it all ready to roll. We're gonna get this car right. It's pretty dry here. It's not bad. But making some adjustments here, and then I'll go over to the merch trailer, try to kiss some babies and sell some t-shirts, and get this thing ready to hot lap. Hell yeah, baby, we ain't going home. Well, they got the track rolled in. It is 10:46. We have ran our practice. Car felt really good. Track's a little narrow in practice, but I think it's gonna come out, man. It's fast. So we are hammered down out there right now. So it is, if we can just get the track to widen up so we can get around each other. And the bottom's real muddy, so all night people are gonna be trying to get a little bit lower, get a little bit lower. So that could cause some problems. But I don't know, man. I got a badass crew here. We're all getting stuff ready. They're getting fuel and stuff in it, and ready. We start 6th in our heat race, and got to get going. Got to get some points, get in the dash, and try to get a better start position for the night. So, man, we're gonna do what we can. Might have to take a nap on the way home. It's gonna be late, but we're gonna do what we can. ran our heat race. The start didn't go how I would have liked it to go. I got hammered with mud, and when I went to rip my tire off, it broke the tab. And so coming out of 2, I was like trying to get it and, you know, drive it one hand, like I could see them kind of, and I couldn't pull the tire off. So I tried to wipe it because it's like sand. So I'm like, hey, well, I get it, and it just smeared it. So like the next corner, I couldn't really see where I was entering. I could barely see the cars in front of me. And after about another lap, I was able to get in there and about yank my head off. It's head sideways when I got it. And 5th place was trying to get by me at that point, and 3rd place was half a straightaway ahead of me. And I was able to get the tire off and see the rest of the race and hammer down. So bottom was a little faster than I thought it would be. Top still got that fluff on it, which is kind of just what this clay is. So track's getting a little bit wider, but it's definitely going to be tough to pass. And it's really fast, so like the technical side of driving quite ain't there yet. So it's a mile-per-hour thing. So we'll see what we can do. Our car's pretty good. I like it. I can pull the wing. We've got a lot of fuel in it, so that's going to tighten us up at the beginning. And then if the track gets slick as we roll, I should be able to pull the wing back. So should have those 2 things, you know, fuel tighten us up at the beginning and wing to tighten us up at the end. So let's see what we can do. Well, not a bad night, but not the night we wanted. Track was actually pretty awesome, and as the feature went on, it got even better. Unfortunately, we weren't on the track. We had something puncture our tire, put a hole like that big in it, going, you know, about halfway down the backstretch into 3. So it got a big, it didn't like explode, it just really went down. So I must have ran something over wherever I hit it. So anyways, ended our night. You know, just one pit guy in there. I mean, if we'd have had a spare tire in there, other crews would have helped, but it's hard. They just give you like 2 courteous laps. You know, we're not trained to be done that fast. But it's been a few hours. It is 2:55 in Alabama. We've pretty much just finished loading. You know, Brenda kind of closed down shop. Ashley cleaned up the RV. And me and Adam have been humping it, getting everything strapped down in the trailer. We did a little pre-prep before the feature, but both trailers had to get taken care of, get strapped down, get the Rhino in, hook up the RV, the yada 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 yada. That's why we like having that extra crew help, because it does a lot. So it was a better night tonight. It just sucks that the rain hit at 8 o'clock, so they knew it was coming and it was for sure hitting us. So we were supposed to start at 7. The rain hit at 8. Thankfully, they didn't make us gill on the track, get our car dirty, and then have to hide from the weather. We were able to get our cars out of the weather and then watch it rain for about 40 minutes and then watch a fireworks show as it dried. And this place soaked the water up, and I think it put on one of the best shows that I've ever seen here, honestly. So hats off to Deepsouth and USCS for not quitting, and I'd rather stay late and race than just drive home. We might not make it as close to home as we wanted to tonight because it's so late. Where it's been a long, hot weekend, and you know, we're tired, and so I'm gonna shower up a little bit, feel a little better. I'm gonna try to talk Adam into hitting the shower over here, not with me, and I know it'll make him feel better. And we're going to discuss about how far we're going to make it before we take us a nap and call it a day. But this Rhino roofing, Crossroads, interlocking brick paving, Sirocco electric, Countryside Arabian Farm, Moss Racing engines, Ford, 8740 suspension, and all the other miscellaneous parts that I have on this car that we pay for. No sponsors there. She did all right. She was ripping. As a driver, I thought I was struggling a little bit, just trying to find grip, because it was like you'd hit the point one lap and then you try to hit it again the next lap and it didn't work for you, but it was muddy on the bottom, so people were probably running through that, throwing it up, and just it took a second to clean it off. So we were duking it out back in like 7th, 8th place, and I think we were putting on a really good show. I mean, when I got out of the car, the guys up front were putting on a show. Had a heartbreaker for Witherspoon. He led until he broke a rear end, and that's what you have on these big jobs. So that's it. She's a pig. She is dirty, but we're done. We're gonna try to head back to Florida. Sweet home Alabama. Y'all were fun. We're almost home, south of Lake City, and been this bumper to bumper traffic for an hour, and still got a little bit to go through. Don't know what the wreck is yet. Apparently a couple lanes are blocked. Apparently all the really nice fancy cars, Range Rovers, and then guys with what they think are hot rods, think they can just run down the median and just bypass all of it, because they're more important than the rest of us that are sitting here. So that's nice. So I don't know. We left the track at 4 o'clock Central Time, and we took a nap. Then we went to breakfast, like 2 hours into our drive, and topped off our fuel to get us home. And we're about an hour from the house, depending on this traffic, and it's at 4 o'clock. So we'll see what time we get home. Well, we have parked it at 5:30. Man, this camera's cloudy. Anyways, 5:30, we made it home. Oh man, there's a wreck in Gainesville and all that other fun stuff. So, trip is almost over. We got to unload, but this is over. Later.